All right. Oh, look at there. We're live, baby. Go ahead and start me a little watch party. Good evening, everybody. I'm Wayne Campbell, and this is the driver's side. Real drivers, real talk. Let everybody come up in here. So I appreciate you guys. I hope everybody's having a good night, and I hope everybody had a great Easter. I forget that it's Easter, Sheila.
Right.
You know, I mean, let alone the times that we're going through. You're out there on a holiday, like always, and holidays are going on. The Easter's going off just fine. People got plenty of food and are okay as far as that goes. Oh boy, I lost the remote. Okay, all right, Sheila, I need the Netflix remote. I can't play it without that. It's not here. I got it. Never mind. There we go. Okay. Rob Hallahan, I'm live. If you want to join, I'll have the wife send you a link. All right. So, but before we get to tonight's show, Real Drivers Real Talk, this is for the better of the industry. We will be here every Sunday night at 5 o'clock. Every Sunday night at 5 o'clock. Remember, guys, to like and share into your groups on Sundays. The other ones, not really a big deal. Those are just me going live because I'm pretty much bored. I'm going absolutely out of my mind in this quarantine. It's crazy. I'm going nuts. But it's appreciated if you like and share into your groups. And, I got some great guests with me tonight. I got Justin Speece from Speece Trucking. I got John Herdrich from Herdrich Express Line. I don't know why I get it. He's got a trucking company. Okay. I got Keith Becker. Hopefully he's in Louisiana. He's got he's going through some bad weather. He's got a bad connection. But before we get to tonight's show, I'm going to be playing a clip. So, what paper? Oh, for Rob. All right, yeah. So before we get to tonight's show, I'm going to play a clip before we bring everybody's guests in, and this is from Netflix. It's called Explained, and it's crazy because this has been out for a while. So let me go ahead and play this, and then I'll bring everybody in, and we'll get the show started.
Improved communications. We have organizations like the World Health Organization, CDC. We have improved diagnostics, improved drugs, therapeutics, vaccines.
And yet the risk of it happening again has never been higher.
We've done the math on this. We estimate there are about 5 new emerging diseases happen somewhere on the planet every year, and that rate is accelerating. So it is inevitable that they will become pandemics.
Mother Nature is the ultimate bioterrorist.
We're in a race, and the stakes couldn't be higher. This simulation estimates that a pandemic today could kill 33 million people in just 6 months.
In terms of a death toll, a pandemic would rival even the gigantic wars of the past. The economy will shut down. The cost to humanity will be unbelievable, and no country will be immune from the problem this will create.
So, with that being said, I mean this is old. This was done in November of 2020, and Bill Gates is pretty much one of the smartest men in the world. Let alone the richest. But like he said, a pandemic is going to would shut down this country. It would shut down countries, and not one country would be affected by it. It would kill economies. I believe that's exactly where we're at today. I know that the trucking industry always runs no matter what, just like people buy alcohol during good times and bad times. But from what I'm seeing, it's still going, but it's not looking good. I'm going to go ahead and bring tonight's guests in. I believe we lost Keith Becker. Hopefully we can get Rob Hallahan in here. My wife's sending him the link now. And while we're talking about that, remember, guys, if you're over in the watch party, I'm seeing your comments too. So I'm seeing the watch party, and I'm seeing the feed. So I'm bouncing back and forth. Keith Becker says, sorry, brother, I'm digitized so bad with these thunderstorms. I can't even hardly get you on your watch party. That's sucks, Keith, because I really wanted to have you on. You're very well rounded in the truck industry, and you've been in the game for a while. Rob, she's sending you the link now. Don't apologize, Keith. It's all good, brother. But as she's sending Rob the link, I'm going to bring the other gentleman in. I have Justin Speece from Speece Trucking, who's going to be joining us right now. And then I got John Herdrich that's going to be joining us right now. See, Justin's got shocked. What's going on, brothers? How you boys doing?
Good.
Justin? Okay, Justin has no audio now. Did you tap your microphone? Here, let me take you out and bring you back in, Justin. How about now? No. Justin, you have no audio. Go completely out and re-enter the link. I don't know what you've done. If you tap something or something. So, but of course, remember, we're live and things get difficult. John Herdrich, how are you, sir?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. What's going on with you? What's going on in your neck of the woods?
My neck of the woods? I'm still moving outbound freight for my customer, but board freight's went down. It's terrible. Weather's cold here today.
What?
I said weather's cold here today. Yesterday we had 62 degrees, and I think right now it's in the 20s.
Dude, weather's bad everywhere right now. I know Louisiana's getting hit with thunderstorms. We got rain and hail, and it's just
you got rain and hail?
Yeah, we got rain and hail today. We got it right. It just right now. That's why I'm home. That's
really?
Why I'm not at the truck stop. So, but let me go ahead and bring Justin in, see if he's back and got audio.
How
about you, Justin?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Perfect.
What's going on with you, Justin?
Same old, man. Same old.
Just same old, same old?
Yeah, just relaxing.
Are you home? You're home? How's your holiday?
I was doing good. Painted.
You with
My
kids?
dog thought he should get in the paint too.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're painting your daughter's room while you're home.
Yeah, they wanted
such
to paint.
a good dad. Such a good.
He painted a real hot pink too.
Yeah, I know, right?
All right, we got Showtime himself. You know, the man with the plan.
Yeah, I got
the one that drives the Great White Knight, Mr. Rob Hallahan. There he is. Look at him. Look at Showtime.
Evening Showtime.
What's going on, Rob?
Oh, just sitting at home.
Sitting at home. It's Easter. How was your Easter?
It's all right.
Just all right.
Dinner. Yeah.
How's Karen?
She's good.
Tell her I said hi. He said, yeah, I know there's a good person over there somewhere. Well, that Rob boy. How are you doing, Rob? What's trucking look like for you? Where your trucks at?
Oh, they're all at home.
They're all at home? Why is that?
Because it's Easter.
Oh, no one wants to pay for Easter, do they?
We don't work holidays.
You don't work holidays? Not unless it's worth it, right?
It's got to pay. Nothing's paying right now. So.
All right. So look, you know what? You three are pretty well knowledge in this. How are load boards looking right now?
Terrible.
What?
Terrible.
You know, I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna go up here with John real quick, and I'll come back to you boys. Hey, John, I know that you have a direct shipper, and I know we were talking last week, and we were talking about brokers. What did you go through last week with a broker? Yeah, yeah. The one that tried to screw you, and you knew he was trying to screw you, and well, you called him on it because
that was a phone call. I wasn't trying to go after that load.
Talk about that.
It was a load that my direct will give some stuff out to others once in a while, just to keep them avenues open with brokers. Broker had a load posted on the board. When I read it, I knew exactly what the stuff was, so I called the guy. He tells me, well, 588 miles and 4 drops. It's minus 10, and we got $1,400 on it. And I told him, I says, our shipper would be completely ashamed of him. And he said, what do you mean? I said, well, I know their transportation manager very well. They would be very ashamed of you for offering that $1,400 rate. You're trying to pocket about $941 by my calculations off of it. The phone went silent and the guy hung up on me because he got caught. You know,
he got caught with his hand in the cookie jar, like these brokers like to do.
Yeah, And I think most of that's what it is. They can tell you there's a downturn in rate and freight right now, which I could believe a little bit of that, but not when they're starting to post stuff on the board for $1.76 going east, $1.20, $1.30 going everywhere else. Leave them sit home and rot. If you ain't gonna make any money with it, leave them sit.
That's ridiculous. Rob, we were talking the other day. We're talking about this relief package this stimulus thing that they're handing out to these company owners. Remember we were talking about something like that. What's that called again?
I think you're talking about the PPP,
Yeah,
CARES
that's
Act,
what I'm talking about.
Payroll
And
Protection Plan.
you brought something up. We talked about because you said you were looking at loads and it was ridiculous, and you said something to me that these brokers are basically scrambling.
Well, what I was telling you about was a broker that I talked to, and he had a rate posted at like 70 cents a mile. And I asked him, like, well, where are you coming up with these rates, 70 cents a mile? He's like, well, right now, all you got to worry about is running for the price of fuel, because you can go ahead and get a protection plan and some stimulus thing. And all you got to worry about is fuel right now, because you can put your payments on hold. I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. That's their mentality right now, is that if you apply for this PPP, then you can pay your employees and you don't have to worry about that in the rate, because you're going to get that money back, supposedly, but it's all just a smoke screen, really.
And here's the crappy part about that. Even the ones that are filing for it, that you don't get.
It's not guaranteed.
It's a process.
You gotta wait 6 months for one thing. You gotta wait 6 months. You gotta pay your employees for 6 months. You gotta pay their insurance for 6 months, and then after that 6 months, then you gotta turn over all your paperwork and hope that they're gonna relieve you of that loan. So what if they don't? What if they don't relieve you of that loan? Now you got that loan on top of everything else you're paying. Now you're gonna have to run for double the money in order to make your money back.
And the amount of debt you accumulate in that time, what is that loan going to do for you?
But they're doing it. I mean, right now, the brokers are trying to get people to run for 70 and 80 cents a mile. I've seen a lot of loads posted today. I got a truck that's unloading in New York on Tuesday, and the rates out of there between 80 cents to $1 a mile. It's ridiculous. It took me 2 days to get them a load out of North Carolina, and the best I could do was I ended up getting $2.20 a mile on a load going to New York, but there was nothing. Nobody wanted to pay $1.20 a mile, and we won't take it. That's why I'm sitting at home. I'm not going to run until I can find a load that pays worth.
I can't believe the goal that people actually post stuff for that amount of money. I lost Justin. Again, I was just getting ready to go to him. But it's sad. It's sad because the sharks are already out taking advantage of the situation, I think. John?
Yeah, they are. I've got another friend of mine that's in the broker business, and he was telling me they're not even posting things for a price. They're just asking these guys what they'll haul stuff for. And a lane that he would normally pay like $270, $280 a mile on. The guy said, I'll do that for $1,800 or $1,850. And he figured out what it was just a stupid number what it come off to. What was it? He said it was like $1.35 a mile, something he would normally pay $280 on. He's just letting these guys say, what can you do it for? And when they spout out a number, if it's below what he normally pays, he just gives it to them. And I mean, me and Rob have had these discussions too. If they agree to it, if they don't make a profit at the end of it, they got nobody to blame but themselves.
Rob went through something this week that we're going to get back to, because I think this is a little. It has to do with what I think it has to do with the training. So, but Justin, I'm glad you came back in. Weren't you a broker at one time?
Yeah, for Jones Motor. They got sold out to part of Green Tree over there. That was
so you being a broker at one time. How dirty are brokers?
Yeah, let's just say I used RG and a step deck a couple times, and I'm the rate con there when you pick it up for the military on the BOL. let's say what the price is, and there's a couple times I got fucked by $3,000 by some people on Lowe's, California, because it'd say the actual price that they bid it for on the bottom, and they're like, "Oh yeah, here's $2,000," and they actually did it for $5,000. This fucking broker just got a fucking payday off of my ass. They're pretty fucking dirty.
It's sad. It's sad. But, you know, I mean, people come into this industry and technically, like Rob went through last week, that don't even know how to slide their tandems.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I mean,
out there and helped them.
Are we kidding ourselves? I mean, when I got this phone call from Rob last weekend, and I've seen it myself, and it's what bothers me the most is the training. But Rob calling me, and the way he's like, dude, I need to vent. This dude, he was walking around his truck. Rob, what happened? Go ahead, tell him what happened.
I was getting loaded at this place, and a Trans Am truck pulled in, and he was about ready to back in next to me. And I seen him get out of his truck, and he was walking around back by the tandems, and I was watching him, and I'm like, what's this guy doing? You know, he's just like walking around looking underneath this trailer. So I got out, and he's like, "Hey, can you help me?" I'm like, "Yeah, well, what do you need?" And he's like, "How do you slide these wheels?" He's like, "They told me I had to slide my tandems to the back, but I've never done that before." I'm like, "You're joking, right? Are you serious?" And he said, "Yeah." He's like, I've never had to slide them. He's like, when I started 3 weeks ago, they put my trailer tandems in the 7th hole and told me just to leave them there, that I'm legal that way and I never have to worry about them. I'm like, this is crazy.
Wow.
I'm like, that's the biggest bullshit thing I ever heard, you know, the 7th hole. But so, you know, I'm like, it's actually really simple. You know, set your brakes, pull this button right here, and it does it by itself. You just pull forward and they slide to the back. So, you know, I showed him how, but then I went in and I got my paperwork and stuff, and I came back out and I drew him a diagram of how to move weight. I said, just because it's in the 7th hole doesn't mean you're legal. I mean, they might overload you on the steers or something, and you're going to get to a scale and you're going to end up with thousands of dollars in tickets because you don't know how to slide your wheels. And he's like, well, they told me just to never take it out of the 7th hole.
Wow. Right. Because, and I know the stupid theory behind that. And that's, you know, because most of these big mega companies, they get the general freight that they're loaded pretty much the same way, and they run California legal, which is the 7th hole. You know, if you weigh out in the 7th hole, you're good across the board. But
that's not true, though.
It's not. It is, but it isn't, Rob.
It is if you have the same load on every single time and it's the same weight. And, you know, I asked him, I said, what are you going to do if you have to slide your 5th wheel? He's like, it's welded to the frame.
Right.
I was like, okay, I guess you ain't sliding that then.
They started welding 5th wheels years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there's a reason for it. But see, it's not funny though, but it is funny. I'm sorry.
I was irate when I heard about it. I was like, you got to be kidding me, man. He's like, yeah, I can't believe, you know, they didn't really teach me anything. He said they just made sure that I knew how to line up for a hole, back in, and they let me go. I was like, wow, you know.
Stop swiping your phone, Justin. We don't need to look at your finger.
He's reading comics just like I am.
Read them later.
So where do we see? Okay, so we know training screwed. We know that. That's going to be a whole nother. I can't wait for that. I'm going to do a 2-hour episode on that damn thing. But what I wanted to talk about tonight, it's the economy, where it's going. Food lines are getting longer and longer and longer out here, not at grocery stores, but charities, because, well, Vegas, a lot of people live on gratuities, but like Palace Station, they do one every Thursday, and it was 3 miles long. What? And I know the drivers are still having issues within the industry. I mean, they wanted to have food trucks come to rest areas. Have you guys heard about this? About them fighting and not letting food trucks go to these rest areas?
I've read a few things on it where I can't remember the name of the company, but they're fighting that where they don't want the food trucks there because it's going to cut into their profit. So it must be the big vending machine company that does this for a lot of them.
I heard a TA and Petro kicking them out of the parking lots.
What's that, Rob?
I heard a TA and Petro kicking them out of the parking lots because they don't want them to be taken away from their business.
Well, I know that has, and you're exactly right, Rob, because those places pay big state taxes, and it's part of why they don't, these rest areas, they don't have funding and they don't do anything with them and they close them, is because, well, it pushes that traffic to frontage road. You got people that pay big amounts of money for them to close them. They stuff pockets. It's all a bunch of crap. I mean, we've had Jason's Law over parking for drivers being killed, and still to this day, they allow the issues within this industry to continue when they don't need to, as far as that parking goes. But them shutting rest areas down and then pushing people to these big conglomerate fuel oases or travel plazas is a joke. But what I really wanted to touch on is, are your drivers seeing a difference out there when they go out there on trouble of getting things and stuff like that? Is that still a big issue?
I've never heard anything about anybody having any troubles, to be honest with you. None of my drivers have any. I mean, I hear about it on Facebook, everybody complaining, bitching and moaning, but I've never had a driver tell me, hey, Rob, I'm having troubles finding food, or I'm having troubles finding parking. I haven't heard any of that.
How about you, John? Your drivers having trouble finding food?
No, they don't seem to be. No problems with parking neither. I was talking to one earlier today, asked him how it was for him, and he said, I'm just getting tired of fried food instead of he said, other than that, I mean, my one guy that's been here forever, he carries a ton of food with him in the truck. But Earl, he said he's just getting sick of the fried food. He's got no problems getting a shower or anything neither.
I feel like that we've had this conversation. I feel like I keep having to revisit this because Rob's right. I keep seeing these drivers bitching and moaning about amenities and not being able to go to the bathroom and not being able to do this.
I haven't seen that anywhere.
And that's why I come to you guys, because I know I'm not trying to knock anybody, but
I think there's some people that are just going to crybaby about anything. They're going to make things up. They're going to make things up to make it sound so terrible. But I'm going to be honest. I love eating out. I love sitting down and having dinner. And I'm sick of, like John said, I'm sick of the fried food. I'm sick of eating in my truck. I want to sit down and kick back and eat a nice meal, and have steak dinner and whatnot. I mean, even at home, at home, I want to go out to eat. My wife and I, we used to going out to eat, and last night we ordered Olive Garden, and we went and got Olive Garden and brought it home just because we're sick of, not being able to eat some of the things we like,
Go ahead, Justin. You were wanting to say something.
Oh, I mean, I haven't noticed anything that's different here. I mean, other than the fried food. I mean, I eat out of my truck a lot, so.
Well, Morton's, all these truck stops out here are in full swing. The sit down is not happening. That I'll give you. And shout out to Leland and Lisa with Trucking with the Smiths, because Leland is that's what his main grump is I'm tired of eating my truck. I want to go sit down and have a hot meal.
Yeah.
And me, I just want to go, well, people don't want to stand in food lines and wait for food. But these drivers are out there working. They're out there on the front lines. And you guys deserve to be treated like what you are, the heartbeat of America. Hello. That's the thing that really bothers me, So do you hold on, let's see. We got some comments over here. They're the same ones that can't slide their tandems. Sherman, that's a good one. All right, River, my husband is getting showers and using bathrooms. What about showers and stuff, guys?
I'm not having any problem.
Yeah, I didn't.
I'll tell you what does suck, and I can totally understand why they're doing it. Is a lot of places we go, they won't let you go inside to use the restroom. So some of them are putting porta potties out there for drivers, but I don't get upset about that, because there's a reason why they don't want you coming inside, not just for your safety, but for theirs also. I talked to one guy. He's like, yeah, we had a guy that worked here who was tested positive for coronavirus. So it would be dangerous for the drivers to go inside and maybe get it anyway. I don't want to go and use the same restroom as they were using. What is it? JBS out there in Pennsylvania, they just shut down a whole factory, 2,400 employees, because half of them had corona, or whatever, 300 of them had coronavirus or something. And then there's another one that just shut down, Smithfield, in
South Dakota.
South Dakota, yeah, out in Sioux Falls. Smithfield just shut down because half their employees got tested positive.
Yeah,
So, and those are some big factory or big, meat packing plant and whatnot. So
I heard about that. And this is where I think it gets scary. I mean, because like you said, Rob, that it's not just for their safety; it's for your safety too. But I think that drivers are being put in more vulnerable positions, and they should be. There should be positions. They should be outlets for them to be completely self-contained. Because some of these drivers, they with the training and stuff like that, they're out there for the first time. They don't know what the hell they're going through. But the safety of the driver is important, because now with all these places erupting with cases, what about the truckers that are bringing things to these places? I'm not hearing anything about truck drivers getting sick.
that's because we're being smart about it and we're not going in these places. We're not, running around hugging everybody we see. I mean, we spend 99.9% of our life alone in our truck. I was joking around with our buddy Ziggy because he was wiping his truck down with Lysol wipes and stuff, and I'm like, what are you doing, protecting yourself from yourself? Our truck is our safest place to be, and you go inside these places to use a restroom, now you're vulnerable to all them other people that are in there. I don't know. I got upset the other day because I seen a post on Facebook, somebody complaining about not being able to go in to use the restroom. Well, you know what? You should have known this before you even went there. Everybody should know this by now. Restrooms are closed. When you get there, don't expect to go inside. Go to the bathroom before you get there, or I don't know, figure it out yourself, because you should know that when you get to the facility, you're not going to have a restroom.
And that's been going on in this industry for decades, way before COVID-19. There's a lot of places that don't provide anything, or an outhouse that hasn't been changed out or cleaned out for a decade.
Yeah, but it's gotten worse now. I mean, but I'm not going to say, I shouldn't say worse. It's gotten more common now. In a place where you normally get there, you normally go inside, use their restroom, use their vending machine or whatnot while you're getting loaded. Don't expect that for a while, because they're going to be closed. And you should know that. Being a truck driver, you should know that.
And you should be definitely calling ahead. You should be definitely calling ahead. That should be part of your pre-trip or pre-planning, is calling ahead and seeing what this facility's situation is. Have they erupted in cases? Do they have facilities for drivers? Are they looking out not just for their employees, but for the drivers that are coming into their facilities? And that's
expect it. Just don't expect anybody to look out for you. You got to look out for yourself. If you're going to be a truck driver, you got to be independent. You got to look out for yourself, no matter where you're at. Even if you're going someplace you go to all the time. That's part of being a truck driver, is being independent.
That's definitely.
And Rob will probably agree with me on this. A lot of these places, now that they took the restroom away, they'll probably keep it taken away, because most of the time when you go to a place, you walk in the bathroom and you go, well, I'd rather have a pee bottle instead of peeing in here, because it's so nasty, because these guys have no respect for anything. They think, it's fine. I'm only going to come here once. And they trash the joint.
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of things that you see going on right now are going to stay. I mean, even after this is over with, I think like you see the plastic shields in front of all the, cash registers and the plexiglass up all over the place. I don't think that's coming down. I think that's going to be a standard everywhere you go from now on.
My wife was,
go ahead, John.
My wife was saying, just like you were saying, Rob, the plexiglass, and like my wife said, you see them wiping down like the conveyor belts when you go get your groceries.
Mm-hmm.
That should have already been a practice, because, yourself going to the grocery store buying meat, and they didn't wipe the conveyor down. You're cross-contaminating things all the time. What if that meat or something leak juices on that conveyor belt and they leave it keep going around? That should have been a practice already, but all of a sudden they're worried about it, and they're wiping the conveyor belts down all the time now.
Well, Rob said it, things aren't going to change. things will stay in place that have been put in place. And and he's 100% right. It just goes back to 2008 when the bottom fell out back then, and all these companies laid all these people off, but kept skeleton crews. They never brought those people back to relieve those people. They kept those skeleton crews and made a ton of money and still do it they still didn't replace those people. But the thing is right, it's going to change. What do you think is going to change as far as the trucking industry goes? Do you think anything with the hours of service is going to change, or is it going to go right back to good old screw you drivers? You are going to do what we tell you.
They'll use us the way they can use us right now, and then it's going to go right back to the way it used to be.
That suck.
I don't know.
You get used to it, man. You get used to it.
I get it's not just the trucking industry though either, because but one thing I've learned in this process is things that are rightfully yours, they make it as hard as hell to get. Okay. When you earn something with a company and they take something away when they don't have the right to do that, but they can because, well, they don't get in trouble for it. But I totally lost my train of thought. What the hell was I saying? This thing's fucking buzzing. I lost my train of thought. Look at that. Look at that awkward silence. Oh boy, I could take a show, can I? Regardless, something it is going to go back to just crap. And that's what it is they aren't going to change anything, just like they're not going to change anything for the people that got laid off technically, but got their vacation time stripped from them, their insurance stripped from them in this process. And well, just screw you. And the ones that are trying to cash out their 401ks and are having issues getting it when it's rightfully their money and are going to suffer through this time because, well, they just don't want to release the money. The loopholes that you got to go through to get things that are yours are ridiculous. But the fact that they're not going to change anything for the trucking industry is a complete joke for me. If it goes back to right the way it was, because we all know that the hours of service is screwed. Correct. We all know that. But the fact that they allow the training and allow people that can't slide their tandems, and with all the things that the way they're going, it's bluntly clear that they can care less about the driver.
I agree.
We're just a tool for them.
Yeah.
And that's sad.
When they need us.
All right, Justin, you're
What's up,
running
bud?
reefer.
Yep.
What's reefer looking like?
It's slowed down this week. Like vertically, shit's just dropped right off the fucking face of the earth. We had 2 guys stay out in California for 2 days. In LA, we had a guy sit down in Houston for a day. Can't find nothing. It's just
John,
cheap.
you got reefers?
Yeah, I got reefers, and if the rates are going to keep doing what they're doing, my trucks will go out, get empty, and come right back home. I refuse to put that junk in my box at that cheap rate. Bring them home.
Well, what's the problem is everybody, like a lot of these flatbeds, they all lost their jobs. You ain't got work.
There
Everybody's
it is.
pulling reefer.
There it is.
Reefer market
There it is.
right down.
Yeah, and look, I get it. They're trying to keep their lights on, and that's the thing about this trucking industry. And I'm going to go to a comment right here because I want your guys' opinion on this. Jim says this will definitely thin the herd in the industry.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to sit there and make you or break you, man. That's for sure. If you ain't got good financials or you're really good with your money, there's going to be a lot of owner-operators going out of business over this. A lot.
Rob?
Yeah, I have enough money. I can stay home. I don't care.
Right?
I can weather the storm for about 6 months sitting at home and not do nothing.
It's about keeping your orbit, man.
And
That's
you're
all.
better off to sit at home and do nothing for 6 months than to run cheap freight. The guys that have to run the cheap freight are going to run themselves right out of business.
Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the fucking week, they're fucking paying the customer to haul their shit.
Yeah, I mean, especially the rates that we've been looking at,
Yeah.
70, 80, 90 cents a mile. If you're going to run that stuff, all you're doing is running it just to pay the fuel and pay your truck payment. And you're not paying any money, you're not bringing any money home to your family. You might as well just park the truck.
You're right. Less wear and tear. Collect that unemployment. Say screw it.
Kristen said all of you are not tools. So
Well, that's nice.
So, all right. So, Scott Miller, permits are getting hard to get for heavy haul. Okay, well, that's heavy haul. We're not talking heavy haul. I'll have to get Brandon for that one. None of these guys are heavy haulers. So I'm going to go to Gary because Gary does run a step deck, and I know Gary Jones runs flatbed or step decks and oversized and stuff like that. Gary was under a hopper, but Gary over here says that I'm still under a step deck are still under a step and getting loads, haven't had to switch yet. Well, I think that's probably somebody that's been in the industry for a little while.
Well, yeah.
Go ahead,
I mean,
Justin.
he got his contacts. I mean, it's the newer people they don't have their direct contacts. They're hauling just nothing but broker freight that's running out of stuff to haul. If you got direct contacts, I mean, that's the way to go. We all know that.
How about that, Herdrich?
What, direct contacts? It's the only way to go.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
we
the
all
only
know
way to
that.
go.
Your direct contacts paying $4 a mile going out, but that broker load's paying 90 cents to get back. I mean, you might just bounce back empty.
And that's my whole point.
Yeah.
I can run my boys out. They can throw $400. They can fill up on fuel on that end if they want, and bring it home, and we're still money ahead.
Oh,
instead of hauling that cheap freight. You know, it just makes no sense.
I completely agree. I mean, it's in the long run, you're still going to come out ahead because you're burning less fuel on the way back.
I've got a friend of mine that's pulling. I got a friend of mine that's pulling 3 different loads for me this week, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's going out, delivering them, and bouncing right back for the next one. He says, "I ain't putting the cheap stuff in the box. I'll still have a good week doing what you got me doing."
Yep.
All right. So what do you guys where do you guys see this going? I mean, do you guys see an end in sight for what we're
Right
going
now.
through?
Not right now.
Nah,
It's going to be a few months.
I'm like Rob. I'm gonna say at least 3 months before we see a change.
Justin?
I guess it all depends on when they open things back up. Right now, they're talking it's going to be June before things open back up. Now, I just read something tonight that Texas governor said next week. He wants things back to normal next week.
Abbott, look, I lived in Texas. I know Abbott. I'm very familiar with that guy. And the way I don't know what he was thinking when he was talking like that. We could do this. It was just the way that guy was talking. It was ridiculous, in my opinion. And I think he's far from off. My daughter's in Texas, and they better keep her ass in the house. My grandson was running a fever today, and it gets scary with these kids. But with everything that's happened, it's going to thin the herd. We've taken number one in everything now. Deaths. We've taken the lead, like we always take the lead in everything else, which kind of sucks because obviously we're not doing what we're supposed to do because we surpassed everybody. What do you?
We're a bigger area, Wayne. If you take us as a whole, we're bigger than the rest of them.
I get it, John. I look at us as the best.
I'm gonna throw something at you, Wayne. Think about this one. Okay, right now they're pushing people to run cheap, and if you do it and you run the cheap freight and you put yourself out of business, there's going to be a lot of that. It's going to, like you said, you're going to thin the herd, you're going to weed them out. Okay, but what's going to happen when everything goes back to normal again, and now you got 25% of these guys that are out of business? What's the freight going to do when the capacity is so strong and there ain't no trucks left to haul it?
That's a good point.
It's going to get. I don't know what to say to that, Rob. That's predicting the future, and one thing you can't do in this industry is predict anything because
Rob knows what's going to happen.
What's going to happen, Rob?
Freight rates are going to go through the roof, and the people that lost their businesses aren't going to be able to get back into it because no bank is going to want to loan money to a trucking company that went out of business.
The worst thing that happened was when the rates were really high in 2018, a bunch of guys went and bought trucks. Then they started driving the rates down. They're not here anymore. They done lost it to the bank because they thought they were living high on the hog. When rates started dropping, they couldn't afford it no more. They're gone.
That's why I have friends like you guys that own companies that are owner-operators, that are carriers, that are everything from the rooter to the tutor. Because me, company driver, different driver's side. Me, I didn't care. Technically, I didn't care. I went through the lease purchase program, and I said, oh, that's what an owner-operator is. When I came in, yeah, you can keep that.
No, you went through
I went through the
fleet program.
Yeah, I went through the crap, John. remember, I didn't
You went
learn
through a
about truck.
police program.
I didn't learn about trucking until I got to the oil fields, and then I got into the mail game. When I broke away from the mainstream of trucking, is when I started to actually learn how things actually worked. You know, I just it didn't bother me, but you know, so I want to bring that up with the way things are going. And freight is slowing down, and it is going to come to a halt when this is not, since this ain't over yet, and we're going to go longer. Like Rob said, when it does go back, it's going to go through the roof, blah, blah, blah. But as this process goes through, we got how many, what do you guys think the percentage of this industry is lease purchase operators?
I'd say probably close, about 20.
Justin?
About 40, I'm going to guess. Because you got a lot of, they're at Prime. It's doing a lot of purchase.
John?
I'd say between 20 and 30%.
Okay, so we'll call it, what do you say, 30? We can call it 30, Rob?
I don't think it's that much.
Okay, so one thinks it's 40, one thinks it's 20, so we'll go in between at 30. All right. So those 30% of truck drivers, those payments are due every week. These ain't monthly bills that they come in at the end of the month. This stuff comes in every week. I guarantee you these people are hurting. They have to be.
Yeah, but you got to understand with a lot of lease purchase programs, if they're not working, they don't have to make that payment.
Oh, I had to make that payment.
You
My
may
payment
have,
still came
you
in
may
every
have,
month.
you may
That
have,
payment still
but
came in every week.
I
They
get
just put
it.
on the back end.
I get it, but a lot of they put it on the back end, but they don't have to pay it if they're not working. I mean, if you're working for, say Schneider, and Schneider says, "Hey, we don't need you for the next 3 weeks," you don't have to make that payment for 3 weeks.
So if I go to Schneider and say, Schneider, I don't feel like working for the next couple of weeks, so
No, not because you don't want to work, because they told you you're not working. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking if they don't have any work.
The way you made it sound is if I went on home time, then I'd have to worry about it.
If you read close on almost any lease purchase program is going to say that they're going to provide you with work and you're going to make this payment. But if they don't provide you with the work, you don't have to make that payment because you're not driving the truck. You're just driving the truck for the miles that,
But hold on. They'll still, they can say that, but that doesn't guarantee you enough miles to make your payments, because if you don't make enough money that week on those miles, you still have to make those payments, because those negative checks will come in. If you didn't run enough miles that week, well, guess what? To cover your fuel or to cover your cost, you will have a negative check. So that is a gray line, because there's many times I ran and there's no loads coming out of Laredo. Freight's slow, but even though freight's slow, that payment still came in. So isn't that kind of a gray area there?
I guess it depends on who you're leased to. Because I got a lease purchase agreement right here with my trucks that are lease purchase agreement trucks.
Okay, really? Let's talk about this. Is that structured like an actual lease purchase program?
Straight off a regular lease purchase program.
Those payments are nowhere near as much as any of these other lease purchase programs. Don't go there.
$227 a week.
How much?
$227 a week.
For what? The truck?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Prime is $900 just for the truck.
Yeah.
$900. Yeah, what you're doing is you're helping the driver out, and you're not making money off the lease purchase, bro. You're not making money off the lease. You're making sure those bills are paid and helping out a driver. Stop it, Rob. Because those lease purchase. If that was the case, those lease purchase programs wouldn't make any money if they were $220 a week.
Well, if they're gonna kick you out every time you don't make your payment, then they ain't gonna make any money anyway.
They're very bad at making sure that they get most of the money and you don't get shit when it comes to those big leads. Just like they'll lease him a truck and not teach him how to slide his tandems back, Rob. That's true. So you think we're heading towards a worse bloodbath that we've already been in technically?
I don't know.
Justin, do you think it's going to get worse?
Not too much worse than what it already is. I mean, there's already a lot of companies gone.
What about you, John? John looks like
I think it's going to get a little worse.
I mean,
It's pros.
I think it's going to get a little worse, and You know, you said something, Justin had made mention about, well, there's some guys that haven't made the switch to, you know, the dry van side or the reefer side. In my opinion on that, if they aren't in this side of the industry, don't come over here and fuck up my niche. Stay out of it because you're helping drive the rates down because they're worried about making payments.
Yeah.
You should have had enough money in the bank to afford that thing. Like Rob says, I can sit at home for 6 months, boys.
Mm-hmm.
Be smart with your money. Just because you get a big check doesn't mean that check's yours. The check's the truck's. You get a stipend.
Well, see, and with my lease purchase program, one of my trucks that's lease purchase, he's got $9,000 sitting in his escrow account right now. He could sit home for 6 months, still make his lease payment and a paycheck for the next 6 months and not have to worry about it. He'd still get his paycheck every week.
It's because he's got a great boss.
Well, I'm teaching him the right way. I'm teaching him how to save money. I'm teaching him how to be productive with, what he's doing. I mean,
but I believe I covered that with great.
Works.
I believe I covered that with great boss. Rob, I know your situation over there, and I can't think.
Rob,
what are you saying, Grumpy?
Rob's doing it the right way.
No, Rob.
I said Rob's doing it the right way.
Well, he's doing it. He's got a soul. He's got a heart, and he cares, and he cares about his industry,
right.
And he wants to see people be successful. Because, like Rob told me when we talked about this, if that guy left the company, Rob would lose,
and
the other guy would gain, because the way Rob set him up, and that's the way this industry is supposed to be. That's the way it's supposed to be handed. It's supposed to be given like as a gift like that. You're supposed to set the next driver up to succeed, not fail. This, I come from a bloodline. I'm a bloodline driver, and my dad to this day, and I'll harp on it to this day, the driver is everything. You're only as good as your soldiers make you look. And that's what Rob's doing. He's taking care of his soldier, but his soldier's out there making sure that he keeps that truck running, and he's not having issues like John Herdrich is having. How's it? You got your SUV, bro?
Oh yeah.
John,
that was a company driver, bro. That was a company driver. That wasn't an owner operator. And I'm not. Hey, I'm not worried about it. 3 strikes, he was out. I should have never gave him 3 chances. After the first time, he should have been gone. But see, my whole problem is, I saw something in him to try and help him, and he took advantage of it, and he didn't want to help. It's like with Rob doing his lease purchase. I'm sure Rob this guy didn't just walk up to him and say, "Hey, Rob, buy me a truck and I'll pay you so much a week for it." Rob saw something in that party to say, "Okay, I'm willing to help you, but you got to listen to me and I'll guide you along."
Justin, how's the guy you're leased on to? How's he to run for?
Well, Joe's been around a long time. He's pretty good. I've been here quite a long time too. So, I mean, people say I get special favors, but honestly, I don't. I just work, man. But I mean, he's a good guy. I mean, he's helped me out a lot. He's sold me my first truck, and Rob will tell you, man, I started off in an International Pro Star.
Oh yeah, you guys know each other, don't you?
Yeah,
we all know each other.
I forgot. Rob knows everyone. I swear to God.
Top.
But if I drove if I flew out to India, and I was talking to a driver out there. I know him. Oh yeah, I know Rob Hallahan. yeah, the White Kenworth. Yeah, I know that guy. I swear to God.
Oh, you mean Showtime?
Yeah, Showtime. I swear to God, it cracks me up. I can't. It blows me away. It seems like every time I run into somebody and I catch him coming out of the beacon or something, I'll see Rob. Oh, look at what was his name? Donald. Donald was the last one. He's like, "Hey, Donald." I'm like, seriously? And then before that, I highlighted Steve Spurrell from a post. And then Rob on a con. Oh, look at you making the driver's side, Steve. It's like, really, dude? Here, Rob, just take the mic. Just take the show. But no, and that's what I love about all this is I mean, guys like Justin. I did not know Justin lived literally right. I guess for some reason the area that y'all live in is prone for drivers for
That's where all the cool
professional
kids
drivers.
are at.
Because it seems like you guys all run up there and you guys are great people. And the community of truck drivers is the core of truckers is actually small. It's a tight knit family. And to be into this family without driving a truck, it feels good. But the thing is you guys, it's crazy how you guys know each other. Like Gary Jones. Shout out to SBB. I'm talking again here. Oh, yeah, Gary Jones. Yeah. Well, you know, Gary, me and him were at Chrome Shop 75, and the judges told him his truck was too evil. They were messing with him. And next thing you know, he won the show.
That was too evil. What?
Rob tells me these stories, and I meet these people, and I want to, and it actually turns, it helps open a lot of doors for me. I appreciate you, Rob. And boy, you need to stop getting around, dude. All right, guys. So where do we see? Do we when this is all over? Do we see the economy? Because I'll say this: I know truck drivers know the economy because you guys pull the economy. Period. You guys pull the economy. It's not easy to when freight's slow. The economy fluctuates. Blah 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 blah. So when this is all over, do you guys see the economy bouncing back pretty good?
Not right away. And
Go ahead, Justin.
I don't see it bounce back right away, but it will bounce back. I mean, they're going to hire a lot of new people and train them before anything gets shipped now.
Rob.
I think it's going to bounce back really fast, actually. Right now, with everything else that has ever gone on, there's never been any loan relief. There's never been any, stimulus package reliefs, things like that. But right now, if everybody plays their cards right, they can have all their loan payments put on hold. Obviously, they're not going to, get away from paying them. But you could go to your bank. You could have your car payment put on hold. You could have your house payment put on hold. You could have your truck payment put on hold. You could have everything put on hold right now, and you're also going to get money from the government. So as soon as this all goes back to normal and things are all open back up again, everybody's going to have all that money that they didn't make the payment on things. It's not going to hurt them any. It's not going to go against their credit or anything because the banks are told they're supposed to, by law, relieve people of these loans. So, and not just relieve them of the loan, but relieve them of the payment. Just like the renters, like my daughter, she rents. If she wanted to, she'd go to a landlord and say, hey, I can't make my rent payment. He can't kick her out of the apartment.
Correct.
He has to go after the rent through a small business loan and can't collect it from her and do anything about it. They've never had this happen before. So I think when it comes back around, people are going to bounce back really fast.
John.
I'm with Rob on it. I think it's going to come back pretty quick. Just for the fact, like all the stuff Rob's talking about, they're the way they're trying to help people. I think it'll come back relatively quick. I mean, some of this with them, sending people home, that's their way of weeding out their bad too, I think.
Oh, the furloughs and stuff.
Yeah,
I have to agree with all with John and Rob. Justin, it might I see where you're coming from, but I think I have to really agree with what Rob. I think our president has done a good job. Okay, I think that he has set it up with these stimulus packages, these reliefs, and all that. When we do get back to normal, that let alone people are going to be grateful to be out of their homes and to be doing things and to be working, and they're going to spend money. They're going to spend money once because it's going to happen. I know the debt's going to be there, but I know also that people. We know America. We love to spend and stay in debt. But I agree with you guys. I think that this is going to be. I think it's going to be the greatest bounce back from the worst depression ever. Because I tell you this, I'm going to ask you guys a question before we end the show. I think this is the first president that's ever acted and done something in a situation like this. And me personally, I'm not a political guy. I think he's doing a good job. Justin, how do you feel our president's doing?
I think he's doing a great job. I mean, like you said, he's the first one to actually help anybody and anything, So I completely agree. I mean, he's doing a good job. I mean, he didn't have to sit there and go and fight up against all the people to send checks out to help people pay stuff and get food. I mean, so.
Rob.
Well, first off, I don't think any president's ever had to go through this shit that he's has to go through.
Yeah.
This is all, everything's new to everybody. And I can't imagine how, he's probably up 23 hours a day, sleeps for an hour. How is he managing all this shit? And for what he's doing, he's made it so we can bounce back. Where if they'd have just closed everything, he didn't want to close everything. He wanted everything open by Easter,
Right.
But I think by agreeing to the packages and things that he did is why they stayed closed as long as they have.
How about you, John?
I think he's doing a phenomenal job. And I'm with Rob. I was watching President Trump on TV the other day, and I said to my wife, I said, man, he looks just totally wiped. Poor guy's probably not getting any rest. And
He looks tired.
I think he's handling it great because our country's never went through anything like this. I think he's doing a phenomenal job. But, we know who I stand with, and you can figure that out.
Well, it's on your head, dude. It's on your head, bro. But yeah, it says "Make America Great Again." John, Justin, Rob, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys all for being here. We will. This is every Sunday. John, Rob, I know you guys are staples here. I can't thank you enough, Justin. I'd love to have you back. And remember, this is going to be every Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's going to be for the better of the industry. I know I've been lacking and I've been slacking, but I just feel like that. What are we really going to talk about? The crap, the negative and stuff like that. I had a great day today with my wife. My wife actually busted her ass all the way around. But you guys just show up on Easter for drivers. I can't thank you enough. You are the heartbeat of America. I will talk to you guys in the next couple of days. Please be safe. Take care of your families, especially you, Justin. You got little ones. Most of ours are pretty grown and paying bills and stuff like that. So they're doing their own
Trust
thing.
me, I wish
Yours
mine
really
were
depend
right now,
on
buddy.
you. Yours really depend on you, Justin. So please take care of your babies. John, you take care of your heart. You hear me? Take care of your heart. You are very vulnerable with this. And you down there in the corner, this one over here, this superstar here. God.
Other corner.
Screw you.
Yeah,
that part right there, whatever
that
it is
title.
over there. I will talk to you later, sunshine, Mr. Apple of my eye, Mr. Hollywood himself. You guys are the heartbeat of America, and you should be treated that way. Thank you for showing up. Remember, keep your shiny side up, rubber side down, and to make money in the truck industry like these gentlemen, keep your left door closed. Good night, everybody.
Happy Easter, Rob.